Hi everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Stand Up's Pocket Workshops. In this series, project coordinators Talia and Zainab are going to break down our usual anti-discrimination workshop into small bite-sized lessons, and we're going to try and make this as interactive as possible. We wish that we could be in your classroom with you, but we can't, so we're coming to you virtually. All you will need for this video is a pen and a piece of paper, and we're going to get started right away. Zainab, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about what we do?
Of course. Just before we get into it, today's kind of topic that we'll be breaking down and discussing is the Equality Act, which we get loads of questions about in sessions, and that's actually how we start our session, by talking about the law. So just a bit about who we are for those that don't know us. We are managed by a Jewish organisation called Streetwise and partnered with an organisation called Tell Mama, which is a Muslim organisation. So we're an interfaith charity and we bring together two communities. We run our workshops in secondary schools to try and empower young people to make a difference within their community. So we're going to start with the first activity. What we'd like you to do is to use that pen and paper and write your own definition of discrimination. What is it? Who does it affect? And you have 1 minute to do this.
Pause the video now and get those answers written down. And welcome back. So we hope you wrote down those answers. We usually get some really interesting ones when we go into sessions, but essentially discrimination, probably what you wrote already, is treating someone differently because of a part of who they are, a part of their identity, something that they can't change. And this can be in different forms and targeting different parts of your identity, which we're going to look at in later episodes. But actually, most young people don't know, yes, discrimination does happen and definitely happens in this country, but actually there's a piece of law that protects us, and it's called the Equality Act, and it's what we're going to be looking at today. The Equality Act is a brilliant piece of law, and it protects us for 9 different parts of our identity. And this means when you go into a shop, let's say after school, think about your favourite shop where you like to go and get your snacks, or maybe your local high street, and imagine you walked in and the person serving you says, "I don't want to serve you," and they pick out part of your identity. Now, this law lists down 9 parts of our identity that are protected, and we want to see how many you can get. Then when we go into schools, young people usually get around 4, 5 or 6. Those of you who have done our workshops before, we expect you to get all 9. So pause the video here and see how many you can get.
Okay, and we're back. Let's try and see if you did guess them all. So we'll start with a difficult one that often young people don't get, which is age. Then you've got disability. We've got a very basic image here. Is disability always someone in a wheelchair? Definitely not. So sometimes there are invisible disabilities that you cannot see. There's also mental health issues, etc. There's gender reassignment. What does this mean? So people who want to be referred to by the opposite gender, people who identify differently.
Gender that they were assigned to at birth.
Absolutely. Then you've got race and ethnicity, which is protected, religion or belief, gender, sexuality, pregnancy and maternity, and marriage and civil partnership. So these are all protected in different ways, and we get lots of questions about them that we want to address today. But before I go ahead with this, sometimes different aspects of your identity could be targeted at the same time. So if I think about myself, I'm protected in different ways, for my age, for my religion or belief, my gender, and also this law is mainly applied at workplace, on the streets, schools, etc.
I feel like when everyone looks at this, you look and you think, how many different parts of my identity are protected? Maybe you can list 1, 2, 3 or 4, but you'll definitely have an age, which means everyone watching this video will be protected. And as Zainab said, sometimes these different parts of our identity can be targeted at the same time, and this is known as intersectionality. Now, I just want to focus on those last 2, pregnancy, maternity, and marriage and civil partnership, because we definitely didn't know about them until we started learning about the Equality Act. And actually, it's really confusing. Sometimes we look at those and think, how is that protected? Zainab, what does it mean when it says pregnancy and maternity?
So it's about the rights that women receive whilst they are pregnant. So I always use the example, and I say to young people, if I was pregnant and I told my boss, can they fire me? Sometimes you get yeses, sometimes you get nos. So the fact is, you cannot be fired because you are pregnant. I also asked them, am I going to deliver the baby at work?
We'd hope not.
Hope not. So actually women are entitled to maternity leave, which could also be split with paternity leave as well, so the father can get some time with the baby. It's also about accessibility at work, if you need that. And obviously the right to go back to a job so that it's not, it's only temporary filled and not permanently.
Yeah, so all
also
things in place that actually we don't even realise sometimes, and they're all there to protect people. Yeah.
I think definitely, Talia, because, you know, in countries around the world, women don't necessarily have these rights and don't have access, which means that if they do get pregnant, it just means that they don't have income and they lose their jobs. Which is a reality of some countries around the world.
Yeah.
Another one we get a lot of questions about is marriage and civil partnership. Why are married people protected? Talia, how would you address this question?
It can be a really confusing one. I think first it's really important to look at what is a civil partnership and what is a marriage. So civil partnership is a union under the eyes of the law. You don't have a religious ceremony, maybe like you would in a marriage. And they were introduced back in the day for people in same-sex relationships before same-sex marriage was legalised here in the UK. So now if you are in a same-sex relationship, you can have a civil partnership or a marriage. And actually in 2018, heterosexual couples, so couples in relationship with two different genders, campaigned so they could also have marriage access to a civil partnership as well, because some people were like, we want to have a union, we want to kind of have those benefits, but we don't really want to have a religious ceremony. So it means that whatever relationship you are in, whatever sexuality you can have access to either a marriage or a civil partnership. And it just means that you cannot be discriminated against, whether that is in the workplace or in school or on the street or on public transport, because you are married to who you are married to, or if you have a civil partnership or not. So that is something that it is there for all of us to have access to, and that is how it's protected. Zainab, isn't that the same as sexuality though?
That's interesting. We actually get this question a lot. Isn't sexuality the same as gender reassignment, and marriage and civil partnership? Isn't the discrimination all linked? So sometimes it could be linked, but these are specific. They are also, this is just a basic image of what the law looks like. The law is actually way more complex. So sexual orientation is who you are attracted to. When you are discriminated against because of your civil partnership, that's who you are married to. And then gender reassignment, we already explained. So also with marriage and civil partnership, it takes into account discrimination based on being married or not married, interracial marriages. A lot of details goes into that. So these just look basic, but actually there is more kind of, if you think about race and ethnicity, that is your kind of accent, your language, your ethnicity, your heritage, your background. It's way more kind of rich and detailed.
I think that's really important to remember, that this piece of law is huge. This is just an overview of those categories, and actually we could sit here for hours and hours and talk about the Equality Act, which we're not. But actually what you need to know is these series of episodes, just like our session, are going to focus in on one section, which is religion or belief, down in that bottom corner. Now, not because this is the most important form of discrimination to learn about, nor is it the most important part of your identity out of these 9, nor is it the worst form of discrimination, but it is simply our area of expertise as an organisation, as Zainab explained before. So for episodes following this, that will be our focus, and we'll be back next week for episode 2. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.